My overnight stay at the Grand Canyon Motel in Fredonia, Arizona. So I just checked in and I got the scoop from Chuck at the front desk. This place has been around since the 1930s. He says Teddy Roosevelt stayed here. I'll have to fact check that at some point, but got a little bit of the rundown of the neighborhood and history. This apparently across the street also used to be a garage. Those windows that you see there were bay doors that opened up, and there was a gas station on the corner with a little pad and a couple pumps. But I'm going to be staying tonight in room or cabin number 12. There's this door. He said I can also enter from this other side. We're only about an hour, I think, from the Grand Canyon, maybe a little more than that. Grand Canyon North Rim. Unfortunately, due to the fires recently, that area is pretty closed down. There we go. Passes the sniff check, and interesting that there are the two doors to get in, but yeah, this will do. Gonna sip into the Buckskin Tavern here and see what's on the menu for tonight. Arizona does get plenty of snow, believe it or not, especially in the northern areas like Flagstaff where there's a ski resort. But it's unusual for me, because I live in the south central part of the state, to see frost. But there it is. Chilly 32-degree morning here in Fredonia, and I'm gonna go around the corner, just up the street a little bit. You can see the service station that I'm gonna be touring here momentarily. Conveniently walkable from where I stayed last night. Kind of a neat little neighborhood here. These old cabins.
Not a lot going on in Fredonia for sure. Here's an old church house that looks like it might be either vacated or maybe lived in currently. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. There's the station I'm gonna go tour, and I'm driving down the road and there are two engines sitting on the side of the road. This one catches my eye. That is a first-gen Legend engine randomly sitting out on the roadside a block away from where I'm headed in a few minutes. What are the chances? So one thing that's kind of interesting about this little settlement is that the road that I'm on right now is the old road that used to come into town. Back in the day, it heads out to the east end of town. I'm coming in now, headed west, but it was bypassed at some point, and so that's part of why the station has been undisturbed, because there's virtually no traffic except for these few homes over here of residents who drive past it every day. But this would have been the old entry into town when Fredonia was first settled. The station itself is up here on the left. You can see somebody just pulled over next to it. Oh, that's the guy that's gonna let me in. All right, let's take a peek at the property.
Kids over, had a little dinner, and
All right, here's the back of the property and the doorstep that comes up this way. There's an old radiator here and some shelving. It looks like this was probably some of the storage. There's some great wood items here. Probably underneath all this mess is one or two items worth hanging on to. I know when we researched the station that my grandpa owned, great-grandfather, it was 1923 build, and there were some items like old car parts, gas caps, things like that, that I went on eBay and was able to locate the dates for them. And so interestingly enough, I was told that one of the pillars here on the east pillar was taken out by a drunk driver, so they replaced it with a metal pole. And here's around the side. That was pretty fun. That scratched my curiosity itch that I've had for 2 decades about going in there. There wasn't much to be seen, obviously. It was a one-room deal, not even a bathroom or any kind of amenities. But it was nice to be able to experience that, just because it's deep in my roots with family history on owning service stations of that type. So I'm gonna head back to Phoenix, about 5 hours now. Have the road to myself here, and it's gonna be a beautiful morning. Gonna run in here to Jacob Lake Inn See if the restaurant's open. I'm not sure if it will be. $5 a gallon though, by the way, for premium. $5.19. Because I'm in the middle of nowhere, there are no service stations for about 30 miles on either direction.